live. We are live. Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday night. We're doing a live stream tonight. We're going to do a live, real-time process of activating a Garmin inReach Explorer Plus. I got this today, and we're going to activate it here. So I won't have multi-screens and stuff. I'm just going to walk through the process, show you how quick, or maybe not as quick as you think it is, to activate it, what pieces you need. In my situation here, I am a user that will add a device to the account. There's very little difference between that and a brand new user. So if you looked at my previous videos on activation using the previous generation of inReach, it really has not changed. There may have been a little tweak or two on some of the data screens, but the most important thing when you grab your inReach device is when you get this from the store, you need your credit card, two contact or your two emergency contacts, and did I say credit card? Credit card and a computer to get registered, and then you're all set up. So with that being said, we're going to activate the Garmin inReach. I'm going to try to keep my eye on the monitor here so that if there's any questions, we can do that. So I'm just going to open up the box here. Have not even opened it up here because still got a little sticker on it. So I have not seen what's in the box here. I assume it's the same as the SC Plus, which I've had for a couple months. So really the only thing I'm going to expect different out of this is the onboard maps and the electronic compass. So, but the one thing I did notice on the box here, and I have to look into this here, I noticed a new logo on the box here. It says a little solar ready. I forget what that means. I haven't seen this in the other documentation here, so I'm not quite sure what that's talking about. So we're going to release the inReach from the box. I guess we'll do a slow unboxing. I don't do unboxings very well, so yeah, I'm just going to grab things with the inReach. So when you get your inReach, you do get, once you release the device, you really only get a couple things. You get your carabiner clip, and you get your USB, which is the micro USB. And if you're like me, you have a lot of like Bluetooth devices, you got a ton of these cables here. And of course a manual. You don't need a manual because you're watching this, but manual is always good to read. Basically, they'll tell you to charge the battery and all that stuff. Now, the big difference between the previous generation of inReach is that when you bought the previous inReach, you would get the serial number, the EMEI serial number that you need to activate. It would be printed on the box. You don't have that anymore, and or you would see it on the back of the device. You don't see that anymore. Used to be, the serial number used to be on here. You don't see it anymore. You really just see it on screen on the device. So with that being said, here it is, and compared to the SC Plus, looks exactly the same, no real difference in terms of the physical dimensions. And really the only thing that is different, like I said, it has the 2 gigs of Delorme topo maps, should be North America, and the electronic compass. So a couple questions that came up when I was demoing the SC Plus was that, can I use this as a standalone GPS before I activate it? Now, on the forums, they have said that yes, there were some updates to the firmware that allows you to bypass the activation so that you can actually use this or this, use the GPS components, and when you actually wanted to spend some money on an activation, you can do that too. So I haven't tested it out on the SE, so I'll find out on this one here. So let's take out the little film and let's turn it on. So this should have a little bit of juice on it. So here you go. They're big on their safety screens. And I don't know what this says here. Okay, so this is the language. Typical Garmin, when you first turn on a Garmin before, you'll have the list of languages that you can choose. So we're going to choose English, and we're going to just choose the check mark here to activate. And when that changes here, And basically you have the setup wizard. So to use the device, it needs to be activated. Now I have a next and I have the skip. So I'm going to select skip because I want to know if I can use the GPS on this thing. So I'm going to use skip, and I'm brought right to the main menu. And what do I have here? This is a new button, new icon, and you probably can't see it. I should probably take a picture here. It's a red triangle called activation. Now, that's something I haven't seen before, and that's probably the bypass that they talked about. Everything else is basically the same that you've seen in the previous videos I've done here. So, and the big improvement with this generation, of course, is the bigger display. You can see a couple extra rows of icons, a little bit more legible in the sunlight. Let's see what else here. Yeah, and that's about it. So, let me flip over to, where's the compass? Let's go to the compass screen. And is it grabbing? So at the top, you see the little triangle. Oh, what's this mean? It is the compass calibration. So rotate the device, turning 6 sides, face the ground, and continue until the device beeps. So yeah, let's do it. So let's rotate the device. Okay, so have you guys done this before? So when you rotate electronic compass, you gotta roll it this way for a bit, and then you gotta do this way for a bit, and then you gotta do this way for a bit. Now, turning all 6 sides to face the ground. Okay. So, rotate the device, turning all 6 sides to face the ground. So, if I were to, okay, so that's 1 side. That's 2 sides. 3 sides. Oh boys, I might need some practice for this one. Rotate device, and then do this side. So I'm going to cancel this because this might take a little bit of practice. But yeah, you do have your device calibration. And yeah, and sure enough, there we go. Here's our electronic compass though. It's ready to rock. Like I said here, we got the glyph at the top here to indicate that the GPS is active and it's full. And that means that we have GPS signals. So if I were to go to location, and there you go. There's the GPS locations right there. So now, if I were to save a waypoint, you can create a new waypoint. So, oh, there it is. Oh, geez, look at that. Nice little screen with a little, guys can't see it here, but you'll see the preloaded map. It'll show you like where the cursor is on the map, the coordinates. That's pretty neat. Let's delete that. All right, so yeah, we can navigate. We can use the GPS now, so that's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Let's go over to the map. And can I fix this? I've never done this on the screen before. I don't know if you can see the map there. Anyway, we'll do future videos on the map here. So yeah, there's the preloaded Delorme map. If you've ever downloaded the Delorme topo maps on your smartphone or Android, it looks exactly the same. So now the biggest question that came after that afterwards is, can you put Garmin maps on here? Answer is no. However, you have OpenStreetMaps, which is a map layer. So that's something that I will experiment later on here. So there you go. Now you can't use the weather feature to request weather because we need a subscription. So out of the box, to answer the question, you can use the GPS electronic compass, use it as a normal GPS, but if you needed to do any of the subscription features such as sending a message, sending a text, a two-way text, a two-way email, getting the weather from your location or other locations, or sending an SOS, you will need a subscription. So we're going to activate this now. So again, we're doing this live, and let's do this. So I got my Chromebook right here, and I'm going to log into the Garmin inReach portal, and I'm just simply going to go to the account and plan and devices tab, and add a device. Now when you're brand new, you're just going to the first screen, and again, if you look at the previous activation videos, the steps are pretty much identical. So we're just going to add it here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to activation, and I'm just going to go through the wizard, and it basically tells you that you need to go to inreach.garmin.com to activate or add your device. So when you have a personal account, you can add up to 5 inReach devices. If you're managing more than 5 inReach devices, you'll need to get like the enterprise plan, and then that gives you a whole bunch of other features here. The other thing that you're going to have to do if you're managing more than one inReach device, let's say you have the previous version, or you're like me, you want to keep the SE Plus and the Explorer, you'll need to assign a new user to the new device. So you have to create a new user and assign it to it before you can actually start to use it. So we're going to add device, and when you click on next, this is where you get the IMEI number, which is the serial number of the device, and the authorization code. So you have to go through the wizard to do this. So on the portal, basically it'll ask you a question: are you switching devices or are you adding a device? We're going to say I am adding a device, and the wizard goes in, and then we're going to log in, and from here it's exactly the same as if you're adding or creating a new account. So it's gonna ask you what device it is. So we're gonna have to enter the number in the authorization code, and here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna enter it in. So this is the boring part, and again, I'm not showing the screen to you because we've covered this in previous videos, and it's exactly the same. The screen might look a little different, might be formatted different, but it's exactly the same sets. So you create an inReach account. It will ask you for the IMEI number and the authorization code. You attach a credit card to it, select which type of plan you want, and then you're good to go. Alright, so let me type this in here. 30. Maybe I shouldn't say the number out loud, should I? 25. 270. Hopefully that's right. And 2135. Accept the terms and conditions, and I accept the privacy statement. Click next. So again, I'm entering the serial number of the device here on the inReach portal. Alright. Your device requires an activation by an authorized reseller. The button below directs you to the proper website, and we'll click on go. Now if you're in Canada, it's in US, there might be a little flick here. So now it flipped me over to the service plan page. So I have the Canadian prices, which is important because I'm in Canada. So I got the 4 subscription plans here. I'm just going to choose one of the plans here. They haven't really changed too much in the last little while, so I'm just going to select one. I'm going to choose the safety plan, and that's $19.95 Canadian a month. And just to let you know what that means, unlimited SOS. Hopefully you don't need to use it very often. Messaging and tracking and charge pay per use basis. And it's basically 95 cents per message and 25 cents a track, which is not too bad if you don't use it a lot. What I recommend people doing when they first get an inReach is go get the Discover plan, and which is $34.95 Canadian, and that gives you unlimited SOS, assuming that you'll never need to use that. You get 100 messages in the plan and 200 tracks, and tracks is a start to finish track. And then if you go over that, it's 50 cents a minute and 10 cents a track. Do that for a month, and then after the month, you can switch plans. So you can go down to safety if you want, or in Canada, we can actually suspend the plan. So we can go down to, is it $3.95 or $2.95 a month? Oh, I forget the number now. It's cheap per month. It's way worth it to just suspend it when you're not using it, and then if you're going on to that big trip, just go and put on whatever plan you want for those few days and get it prorated and then suspend it back again. I mean, you can play around with it. So that's one of the beauties with these subscription plans here. We're a little bit more flexible in Canada than US, but here we go. All right, so we're going to choose a plan. And when you're first doing this for the first time, you do have that $30 activation fee. That's why suspending it makes way more sense than just deactivating it and then reactivating it. And we got the Smoke Nape here commenting. He says, "Hey there, Jim." And I say, "Hey, buddy, just activating the Explorer Plus. I'm just at selecting a service plan. So I have the service plan selected. I'm going to click on next, and then that's just going to get added to my billing. And the fact that I've already had the account, it should already have my credit card information. So it gives me the summary of charges. So I've added the plan. First time the $30, so it gives me that total. I can see it's billed monthly. I got my billing address, and instead of monthly payments for your recurring charges, prepay for your expected usage. Note, after your prepayment is depleted, your credit card will be charged for the balance due unless another. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. That's a new feature, which is the prepayment, which is optional. Oh, that's pretty neat. Oh, I like that. Anyway, it is still asking me though for a credit card, and you gotta add a credit card for each of these inReach devices. It doesn't matter if you add it. Where's my credit card? Oh yeah, it's behind the phone. You just get it here. So, well, oh, this is different. I got one of these cases that you have to. Your credit, you got one or two cards behind the phone. Anyway, let me just grab it here. Good thing I didn't grab a corporate card. That would be embarrassing. All right. So, any questions, folks? That as I'm typing in my credit card, and no, I won't be mouthing off the numbers as I'm doing this. So again, when you're first getting your inReach device, you'll need your credit card, 2 emergency contacts, and about 15-20 minutes on here. Now, that's when you're brand new. If you're already upgrading or you're adding a device to your account, you kind of skip through a couple of the spots, but you still need to add credit card information. So I'm just going to add that in right now. And again, I'm not showing this on screen because it really hasn't changed since I did this last time. So if you go back 2 years ago when I did it for the SE, it is identical. They might have added just minor tweaks, but okay. So let's do that. And let's verify my billing address. That's all good, good, good. Okay, hit next. Now, at the same time as doing that, verification code in the back. Don't you hate that? There we go. Done. Okay, credit card entered. You want to see it? No, browser. I don't want to see this credit card. Okay, so basically on your inReach, it will tell you once you've entered your information on the inReach portal, either go outside to get a clear view of the sky to complete the activation process, or either sync your device. So now that it's in there, and we just got a little summary screen on our inReach portal, and then I can just quickly activate account. And I'm just going to put on here. I understand that inReach is going to bill me $30 plus $19.95 a month for this device, and then you just complete activation. So now the device is being activated on the system. Basically, you can just click on next here, and now it's going to try to get a GPX fix, and now the device is sending the activation to the satellites to complete the registration. Now, you can put this on the edge of your windowsill and try to get a view of the sky, but for me, for my place, I need to actually put this outside. So I'm just going to step out. I'm right by the door here in the back, and I'm going to let this work for a few minutes outside, and that should complete the activation. So this is the really interesting part of the video. See, that was quick, easy. All right, so basically on our inReach portal, we have a little window here that activating on your inReach. So you're basically waiting, and now we're at a completion page here, and I'll show you what it looks like actually. Let me flip this over, you can see. All right, So the last thing you'll see here is complete the activation setup. Basically, it tells you to take your inReach outside. You can pair with your mobile. You can test your inReach, and then get to the inReach portal that we're on right now. And gives you a little bit of information how to send a message, text, email, SMS, map share, and the internal inReach address. We've covered this in all our previous videos. So oh my lord, technical issues. Professional. Can't edit that, can I? All right, so, and that's about it, guys. This is basically the process to edit the or to activate the inReach. So now we're all set. Let's see. I get another disclaimer on the portal. This is that it's not activated yet. It's still working outside, so it may not work. And you need to assign it to a user. So the last step is, if you're brand new, you don't have to worry about it. You create your own user, which is your emergency contacts and all that, not a problem. If you're adding a device to a plan, like I said, you have to assign it to a brand new user. I can't have two inReach devices assigned. I gotta pick one or the other, or use a different account. So that's the last thing I need to do, is assign myself the Avoiding Chores profile, and then I'll be able to have both of them together. So that is really it for the activation. And how long do you have to wait for the inReach to be outside before you can bring it back in? 5-10 minutes. Usually you'll hear an alert, and we got the door open, we got the screen door open, so we should be able to hear it easy enough once it's done. And then from there we can start using it. One of the things I will confirm is whether or not you can change some of the maps that are on board. We'll see how easy it is to calibrate the electronic compass. And there's a couple of things you can do. You can do all sorts of different accessories. It did come with the the carabiner clip and accessory. So comes with this thing. So if you have a recent Garmin product like eTrex 20, Oregon, something like that, you can use similar accessories. I did get them to send me the backpack accessory, which is basically a piece of Velcro. We got a couple straps here to go on your shoulder straps, and then you just clip the inReach on the back of that, and then you just press it on the piece of Velcro. You get a little tether. I thought that was a pretty neat accessory. I also got the handlebar accessory for biking, and that's just the clip with 2 zip ties, and so that one's pretty simple. But I didn't get a chance to get on any RAM mounts or anything like that. So if you have previous Garmin products, you can use it for that. So that is pretty much it for the activation. Pretty simple. I know I kind of dragged it along for a while. I got Smoking Ape probably still watching. Anybody else still watching? Probably saying, you sold me, Jim. You sold me on getting an inReach. Anyway, a couple things though we did confirm. We confirmed that we could use the inReach, the GPS functions on the inReach, without having to activate it. So if you want to use the bare bone GPS features, you can do that. If you want to start the activation wizard on the device itself to tell you how to get it activated, we'll tell you that. We show that if you're adding or creating a brand new activation, you need your credit card, your emergency contact information, and your contact information. And we also know that the wizard tells you to put the inReach outside to complete the activation. We get reminders on our portal to do that. And we also found out that if we are trying to manage multiple inReaches on our device, we can't be on 2 devices at the same time. So we have to create another user or different contact information. Whoop, hang on, there was a comment there from Smoking Ape. I just missed it. Oh, where is he? Where did he go here? Let me just bring it up here. Bring it up here on the computer there. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. Yeah, so again, another 5-10 minutes outside. Really depends on, you really have to put it in the middle of your backyard just to make it out there. Now, where are my comments? Did they change stuff here on YouTube? I haven't done a live stream in a while that I needed to be on the computer. Alright, my channel. Let's do it this way. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, I tell ya. When you do it live, there's always mistakes. Awkward silence. I'm just trying to get to the chat. All right, so that's about it. Reason why I'm activating the Explorer Plus tonight is because I'm going to be doing an event day at Cabela's, at our local Cabela's, on behalf of Garmin Canada or inReach Canada, folks at Ropost. So we're going to, I'm going to go over basically the inReach stuff. Got a nice little banner, little thing, banner there. And then I got, and then the store wanted me to talk about the other Garmin handhelds. So I'll be talking, luckily I know about the handhelds. Okay, yeah, Smoke and Ape comment is using it without activation a new feature. Answer is yes, that was a recent change they did in the firmware back in April. So they did a couple big things in April. One, you could update firmware via Bluetooth with your smartphone if you're paired, just like you would if you have a Garmin Forerunner using Garmin Connect Mobile. In this case, you're using EarthMate. And the other thing too was to bypass that screen, so that, and that was a big complaint for people, especially with the Explorer Plus. People just want to use the GPS and the preloaded maps. Why do I need to activate? So that's one of the changes. You can skip it, but again, if you need to do anything else on the device to send messages, get weather, SOS, you gotta have a subscription on it. Alright. Well, alright, so that's pretty good. Haven't heard a chirp on the inReach. Let me go check to see if it's ready. And again, reason why we took the inReach outside is for it to get a clear view of the satellites, and it's using the Iridium satellites. It's using the same satellites as the satellite phone network, not the GPS network, to send the activation back and forth. So let me just go and check that, and I'll be right back. You guys heard that or not? That was great timing. It chirped to say they had completed it. So basically it says congratulations, you have it all activated, and you can have a little finish. And there you go. So now this device is fully activated, and let me just show you the let me bring down the brightness of the screen. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so let's go and show you the preloaded maps on here. And there you go. And these are the Delorme maps. Oh, what's it saying here? This is the compass calibration. I'm not going to do this live because I need practice. And if you ever see me doing calibration videos on YouTube, be known that I've done this multiple times to get it right. So I'm just going to use it here. But basically, there's your Delorme. So again, when you use EarthMate on your mobile phone, you can download these on your phone if you have the SE. So if I wanted to see maps on the yellow, I needed to pair with a smartphone and view it on the smartphone. Now the cool thing, I can pick and choose what I want to download. With this though, you gotta get everything. So not too bad refresh rate. Now, Delorme maps for Canada, not that great. not bad, not great. However, if I were to scroll this over to Maine, for example, let's go to just here, doesn't matter. So we're here in Maine. Let's get a little closer. You can see that the quality gets a lot better with it. You can see the shading. Actually, that's not bad looking. With the Saddleback Mountain. Haha, place I wanted to go to. Oh, there you go. You see some trail information. Oh, geez, even wow, geez, how far this thing will go. Like I say, in the States, Delorme, you get some really good details. So it's not; these are not bad maps at all. They're not Garmin maps, but these are pretty good. They're made for outdoors, right? Pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, so this is supposed to be Topo North America or Delorme North America. Now, question is, can I put manage maps? Ooh. Yeah, I got that right, Smoking Ape. Says here, that's nice to be able to have the maps on that device. Yes, it is. Check it out. We got managed maps. We got a couple different layers here, which is kind of neat. So if I were, now the question is, how do I manage the maps on here? Can I manage the maps with my mobile device, or do I need to plug it in with Sync and tell it what's going on here? So let me quickly go to let me pair this with my smartphone. I'm going to pair this with an Android because my iPhone is being used right now. Hopefully my Android is charged. And you know what? That ain't happening. Oh, there we go. It's starting to turn on. It's an old one. Old hand-me-down Android. But you know what? It works and it has enough gigs so I can. This is what I was using with the SC, right? So wherever I was going, I would download every type of map I could get available off Earthmate and view it that way. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pair this with via Bluetooth, and I'm going to check with the Earthmate app if I can manage the map layers, and most importantly, transfer OpenStreetMap. Now, I had surveyed a bunch of people when I was visiting the various Cabela's, mountain co-ops, atmospheres, and all that stuff. Winnipeg, Montreal, all that. When I was promoting this or teaching the staff how to use this, and I asked them, "Do you guys know about the OpenStreetMap website?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, because it's fairly popular in my neck of the woods." So I'm going to ask that question to you guys who are watching. Have you ever heard of OpenStreetMap.org? Yes or no? Use the chat. Please use the chat. Use the chat. No, actually, it is very popular in Europe. It's basically open source mapping. It has a very Google, it's a little slower, but has a Google map kind of feel to it. The benefit of that, you can contribute to the map. And so a lot of people have, what they have been doing is taking all that open data that we get from government. So here in Canada, all the mapping data is government owned. In the US, it's a little bit different. You can get a lot of map data very freely from the government. Here in Canada, you got to pay for it. So as governments are slowly opening up their open data protocols, people are grabbing the data sets and uploading it to Open Data Portal, or tracing satellite imagery, tracing it to create vector kind of style maps. So if you go to openstreetmap.org, go to Europe, it's insane. Like, it's very, very detailed. North America, States, not so bad. Canada has quite a bit of detail. So where the Delorme topo maps are not that great, OpenStreetMaps is a very good alternative. And the other thing too is you can contribute to that. Oh, what? There's a hiking trail that's not on there. You want on this? Well, I'm going to hike it. I'm going to contribute the GPS track file. And maybe 6 months, 8 months, 9 months down the road, I don't know the exact timing. That's why I kind of put it out there. maybe it will show up in the next refresh that they do. Or if you have a Garmin device, you can. I've shown a video how you can grab OpenStreetMap to create custom Garmin maps. Then you can do it that way too. So anyway, maps. Very busy. All right, so basically I'm going to open up EarthMate on the Android app, and I'm going to pair with the Explorer Plus, which is something I wasn't really planning on doing, but basically we'll do it this way. And I'm just going to unlock it, and I'm just going to, I got to do this in mirror, settings, and should be Bluetooth here somewhere. There's Bluetooth, and there you go. Bluetooth is turned on, it's enabled. I'm just going to pair a device. I'm going to put this in pairing mode, like that. And once it's ready to pair, we're going to go do pairing mode. When you're on EarthMate, it's going to give you this thing. Do you want to use your inReach credentials that you do on the website? That's what you logged in to enter your credit card and stuff. Or do you want to try to connect directly via Bluetooth? Because if you synced with this on your computer, you already have the login info. So you can do enable Bluetooth and do it that way. Since we've never done this before on this device, I'm going to enter the credentials from the website, because otherwise I won't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to log in this way. So if you've already, so basically if you took this, plugged it in via USB to your computer and did a sync to your inReach portal, then you can use the Bluetooth for this. So I'm just going to enter that in. So, and again, it hasn't really changed since the previous other videos that I've done on this. So, I have a really complicated password for my inReach. I need concentration. I did have a couple beers tonight too, so that doesn't help. All right, let's see. Are we good? And we're good. Oof. Okay. All right, so here we are. We're logged into our EarthMate app here. So I'm just going to go to the My inReach. Device is not connected. And we're going to pair. Put this in pairing mode. And we want to allow it on Android because Android needs to. And now I'm just going to put this on pairing mode, like this. And the phone should, can't see, can you see? Oh, there it is right there. So there's the inReach listed right there. Tap it. And then this thing should, bloop. There you go. All right, good to go. We are paired Bluetooth. So now you can have this clipped to your backpack, let's say in the back or whatever. And if you pair with your phone, you can control the whole, you can control everything on this through your phone. And now with the latest firmware, update your firmware and do a sync, send stuff to the cloud, all that other stuff. Very helpful after you've done a hike. Then all your detailed track log can go up to your map page that way. All right, so now that's done that, I want to do maps. So what I'm trying to do here now is figure out, can I send maps to this to my inReach? I'm going to say, I don't know. Anyway, the way that this works is that when you want to add a map, you basically choose the area that you want to add a map. And then world reference data, I'm not going to download it now. But you got a few different options. So you got Topo North America, which is already on the device. I don't need that. However, I want OpenStreetMap. I want that, and it's 24 megs. So I'm just going to download it. And basically, it just downloads the 24 megs OpenStreetMap. And this is the Delorme version here. This is the Delorme map, so it won't actually, it doesn't preview what the actual map you download is. But once you've downloaded it, you can turn on and off the layers. So it's pretty slick afterwards. Obviously do this when you're in Wi-Fi mode, because you could download gigs of maps. When I went to Winnipeg to show off the SC Plus, I think I had 2 gigs downloaded, because I had Minnesota and Dakotas and all that stuff downwards. So depending on your region, you might have a lot of maps to deal with. Okay, so we got our maps. I'm just going to OpenStreetMap. Okay, OpenStreetMap is visible. Okay, so there's oh, where are you? Where are you people? There you go. So OpenStreetMap's not too bad. And again, this is all user entered data. So this is not like government provided or from Google Maps. People actually hiked these trails or traced it from aerial photographs to represent this. So anyway, that's why it's kind of neat that way. Now, if I do sync, what does that do? So when you do sync, it will synchronize any of your contacts, preset messages that you have on your portal onto your device. So we'll have that going on. And if I were to check this out here, and if I were to check that out on contacts, I should see a bunch of contacts. Oh, didn't work. Is it still doing stuff? Oh, I haven't assigned myself to it. That's why. Got to finish that part. Okay. So I'm going to have to review here how this map thing works, because to answer the question whether or not you can transfer or put some OpenStreetMaps layers on here, because you can manage maps, so I would assume that you can select, deselect, reload maps. I assume you can do it. But anyway, I'll check this out. Anyway, other than that, folks, with the inReach, the SOS button, it's actually inside the case. They kind of moved it in. You actually have to lift in and press really, really hard to get this. And of course, you get your clip attachment here. So, all right, that's pretty much it. Anything else is identical to the SC Plus. So just go back and take a look at how the previous SC Plus videos, and it's exactly the same. I'll start probably doing some videos on this anyway. But anyway, that's all I wanted to do tonight, to show you how simple it is, even though I've been going on for 42 minutes. But the point is, when you first get it out of the box, pretty simple to get it going. Just need to go outside. I'll have to review how long it actually took for me to bring it outside and then bring it back, because I don't know if you heard it. It gave an alarm to say that it was ready to go. So I'll double check that. I'll double check the map stuff. If you are in the Moncton, New Brunswick area this Saturday from 11 to 3, I'll be at Cabela's showing these off. You can actually go and play with it and send some messages. You're not going to walk away with it, though. You're going to have eyes on you. Anyway, we'll have that going on. Other than that, I'll just check the Twitter, Instagram. I'll have any updates I have on this regarding the maps. Any questions that you guys have regarding the inReach activation or users and all that stuff, shoot me a message, add a comment maybe after the video is done so that we can see it. And anyway, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. It's 10:17 local time. I think it's time for bed. Thursday tomorrow? Anyway. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me. And that's it. That's how you activate an inReach.